Houston Public Works is responsible for the daily tasks you may take for granted. You may not notice us, but we work around the clock to support you. We are the foundation for life in Houston. Houston Water distributes enough fresh water to fill the Astrodome 4 times a day. Transportation and drainage operations handle 16,000 miles of streets. Over 1 million signs and street names and thousands of drains. The Houston Permitting Center regulates hundreds of projects so you can work, play, and live safely. Customer Account Services ensures 2.1 million people have access to safe drinking water with efficiency, accuracy, and flexibility. Capital Projects manages the critical improvements that make Houston better every single day. Houston is always moving towards growth, innovation, and progress. We are the largest, most diverse public works organization in the country. We are one team with one purpose. Together, we create a strong foundation for Houston to thrive.
Good afternoon, stakeholders and community leaders. Thank you for participating in the Public Engagement Overview for Super Neighborhoods and HOA's webinar today. My name is Kenya Williams with Houston Public Works. The goal of today's webinar is to keep you informed and updated on our public engagement process and to demonstrate to you how we engage Houston. Before we begin, I would kindly ask if you could hold all questions until the end of our webinar. Many of the answers you're looking for will be answered within this presentation. So we respectfully ask for your full attention at this time. Later, we will open the questions and answer session at the end of this webinar. Here at Houston Public Works, we believe that together we create a strong foundation for Houston to thrive. There are 5 service lines at Houston Public Works. Today's webinar is presented by Capital Projects. Before we start our deep dive into the webinar, I'd like to take this time to introduce the public engagement team to you. The customer response team handles 311 service requests, TPIAs, MYRs, and government relations. And the Community Connection team heads up the public outreach, which includes project team meetings, public notifications, council member briefings, and engagehouston.org. We'll start with Ulysses and his team to say hello. Ulysses?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm Tiffany Johnson.
Good afternoon. I'm Cicely Davis.
Hello, I'm Taylor Love.
Good afternoon. I'm Timothy Williams.
Hello, I'm Afalaki Cannon.
Thank you, team. And now let's hear from our Assistant Director for Capital Projects and who leads Project Support Services, Cheryl Harris. Take it away, Cheryl.
Hello and good afternoon. Welcome and thank you for your time today to engage with Houston Public Works. As you notice, our purpose begins with together, and that includes you. You are our partners, and we value in keeping our Houstonians engaged, informed, and educated about the projects that are going on in their neighborhood. So again, I just want to welcome you to the webinar and hope that you find it very informative and you continue to engage and share with all of the residents in your area. With that said, I'm going to turn it back over to Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. We would like to take this time with you today to provide an overview of the public engagement process from start to finish. We plan to provide you with all the necessary knowledge to understand our practices and how we engage the community. On the screen, you see our public engagement process that has been broken down into 3 main components. Component 1, engagement begins. Component 2, notification. And component 3, feedback. As we go through today's webinar, you will see how you directly are impacted during this process. The first component that we will review today is number 1, engagement begins. When a project is in at least 60% in design phase, the public engagement process begins for that project. When a project is awarded in the construction phase, the public engagement team meets with the project team and the engagement process begins. Now to Tim with the next component, public notification.
Thank you, Kenya. Public notification is a critical component of our engagement process. Let's discuss the means and avenues by which this is done. Pertinent information, such as community meeting notices, community meeting recordings, and other engagement activities, is posted to Houston Public Works' social media platforms, which includes Nextdoor, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. So be sure to follow us at Houston Public Works. We also send out 2 types of postcards, project notices and meeting notices. Notices are sent out for projects in both the design and construction phases. If a project has a level of engagement that only requires residents and stakeholders to be notified about a project, they will receive a project notice. These postcard notices contain the project name, start date, project type, a map, and descriptions of the project, as well as how to register on engagehouston.org to receive updates. When it is determined that a community meeting will be scheduled for a project, meeting notices are sent out to residences and stakeholders who may be impacted. Meeting notices contain the same information as project notices, but also includes the meeting details and ways to join or attend. All notices are sent in advance of scheduled construction activity. Community Connection is a form of outreach in which members of our team visit a future project area to promote a community meeting or bring awareness to a project prior to the start of construction. On occasion, we will also visit an area actively undergoing construction to assess work being done and provide helpful updates. Community meetings are conducted virtually and provide residents with the convenience of attending remotely from home, a coffee shop, or wherever they're located. There are 3 types of design meetings and 2 types of construction meetings that can occur during the engagement process. For design, there is the design update meeting, the design input meeting, and the stakeholder meeting. The design update meeting presents the project to the community for informational purposes. The design input meeting and stakeholder meeting is held to obtain feedback from the community about the design of the project. This is often done by use of survey and, of course, engagehouston.org, which we'll hear more about later. For construction projects, there are 2 types of meetings. First, community meetings, which covers the benefits of the project and informs the community on how to prepare for construction. There are also stakeholder meetings, which are given when the project primarily impacts businesses and institutions in the area, and there are stakeholder concerns that need to be addressed. Our project team, which consists of city project managers and engineers, also attends and answers questions from residents. Now, to continue the conversation, I'll send it back to Kenya. Back to you, Kenya.
Thanks, Tim. Before any construction begins, door hangers will be distributed by the contractor to residents that will be impacted in and near the project area. These door hangers contain a short description of the project, information on how to go to engagehouston.org, and emergency contact information for the contractor. For all construction projects, there will be project signs placed in the impacted area. Project signs are aluminum signs that are required at all CIP construction projects. These signs are posted in the project area to alert the public to the details of a project, such as project type and name, start and completion date, as well as a QR code that will direct them to engagehouston.org. Liftoff News is a monthly video newsletter that goes out to all registered users of engagehouston.org. The newsletter highlights a different project each edition, providing visual updates and a more immersive overview of the project, as well as trivia. Let's watch a quick video to highlight this feature.
Welcome back to the Engage Houston Liftoff News. Our public engagement team is here to bring you the latest information on projects in your neighborhood. Remember, you can submit questions about projects on engagehouston.org. Our team will reply there. And if you haven't already, be sure to register with us to receive updates on projects in your area.
In this edition of Liftoff News, we will highlight the rehabilitation of Above Grade Crossing Package 2 project in Council Districts B, H, I, and K. This project will ensure the large diameter water lines are repaired and replaced to minimize the impacts of major water main shutdowns. Construction is well underway, having started in summer of 2022 and is expected to be completed in the spring of 2024. You could find details about the project on the project page, so please don't forget to submit any questions you may have.
Howdy, neighbor. It's that time again. Let's do some trivia. Remember, you can answer this question here on the Liftoff News webpage to see the answer. Found primarily in the north and northeast side of Houston before joining Greens Bayou, how many miles does Halls Bayou flow? 14, 15, 16, or 17? Thank you for watching this edition of Liftoff News. Check engagehouston.org for updates and new projects added monthly. And remember to follow Houston Public Works on social media at HOU Public Works.
And now a brief demo on how to navigate your way on engagehouston.org.
Welcome to engagehouston.org. We're excited to share this platform with you. This site allows us to communicate with Houstonians about the changes that are happening in their neighborhood. Our goal is to make the site visually fun and engaging, as well as easy to navigate so that everyone can find what they need. Using the Google Translate option, users can translate the languages used on this website. On the home screen, you can navigate the 4 project types that we support: drainage, street, wastewater, and water projects. Beneath that, you're going to see a variety of resources. All of these resources can also be found up here in our header. For all public meetings, we send out notifications to the community, and one way to access the meeting link is to click on the Join Us button. Another great thing about this website is that we have enabled social media shares. Users can share meeting links, project pages, and updates to their social media feed through private messages and/or email. This helps us in getting more information out to the community. Here's a snapshot of all of the relevant project information on the project page. It shows a standard map, which highlights the project area, and general project information, which may be followed by a link. Below are the project's frequently asked questions. To the right, you're going to see a variety of widgets. First is the Stay Informed Subscribe button. This allows the user to subscribe to the project, meaning that if this project is of great interest, all it requires is you inputting your email address. You'll be notified via email when updates are posted to the page or when new information becomes available. You'll also see the current project phase, as well as the project documents, meeting recordings, videos, and pictures. Underneath that, you'll be able to view who's listening and who the public engagement team is. At the bottom of the page, there's the Engage Us tool, which allows you to correspond directly with us through this platform. In order to use this tool, you must be registered and signed into the site. Once you're signed in, you can ask questions that are sent directly to the public engagement team. Research and provide a response to every single question that is asked. We encourage everyone to register for the site. Some of the tools we discussed earlier can only be utilized if you're registered, so make sure to register. We've made it simple, quick, and as painless as we could. Just create a simple username and password and answer 3 basic questions and you're good to go. You'll receive a confirmation email, so don't forget to confirm your email address so that you don't miss out on all of the updates. And now you're done. You're all set up to utilize EngageHouston.org and all of its beneficial tools.
Next is Afalaki Cannon with the Community Connection team.
Thank you, Kenya. Now, to keep the attention of those who are interested, we make sure we are providing the latest information on each project. Project updates and photos are posted to the project page quarterly or as information is received from the project team. Once an update is made to the page, those who are subscribed to the project page will get an email notification that lets them know to visit the project page to view the updates. Community representatives are invited to attend the contractor's monthly status meeting that will allow them to provide periodic updates to the community. If interested, please reach out to us at buildforward@houstontx.gov. Again, we encourage everyone to register for the website and subscribe to the individual project page to stay engaged and informed. Let me introduce you to the newest feature on EngageHouston.org. That's going to allow you to search and get snapshots of your projects near you. The Projects in My Neighborhood map. This allows users to explore and learn about projects. Also, you can search using filters such as project type, status, and district. Now let's do a quick demo on how it works. Hope you guys can see my screen.
Yes.
You can find the Projects in My Neighborhood map on the home screen in 2 places, as a tab on top here, or as a tile located at the center of the page. Let's open this up. Once once you're here, excuse me, we're going to let some people in the meeting. Once you're here, there are some helpful tips that's going to help you help you navigate the map. Once in the map, I'm sorry, let me click through the tips for you. Once on the map, you can search filtering by project type, the project status, or the council district. For this example, I'm going to go ahead and search in District K. So you're going to zoom out a little, and you get to see all the projects that are in District K. So if you go to the right of your screen, you will see this little caret here. You can open it up, and this is going to give you all the projects that are also visually on the map. It's going to give you a list of those projects. So it filters that out for you. So that is the end of my screen share. I'm going to hand the screen back over to Kenya, and I'm going to hand it over to Ulysses with the customer response team for more information on the feedback process. Ulysses?
Thank you, Afalaki. Now over to Tiffany with the customer response team for more information on the feedback process. Tiffany?
Thank you, Kenya, and thank you, Afalaki. Good afternoon, Super Neighborhood friends. I am Tiffany Johnson. In this slide, well, I'm going to wait till the slide appears. Just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, perfect. So good afternoon, Super Neighborhood friends. I am Tiffany Johnson. In this slide, we are going to discuss the customer response process from start to finish. Let's talk notifications. There are two ways to submit a request for service. Option 1 is by phone. You may dial 311 where you will be connected to our friendly customer support representatives who are there to assist you with answering frequently asked questions, gather details as it relates to the reason for your call, and to seamlessly transfer technical items to the appropriate department for review. If you're on the go with little time, no worries. Option 2 gives Houstonians the ability to utilize the self-service portal at houston311.org, which is available 24/7. To ensure we are providing the best in-class service and a timely resolution, we recommend residents provide we recommend residents provide as much detail as possible, such as a project number, cross streets of the affected area, and photos if available. Now we will have Ms. Davis, who will discuss the next steps. Ms. Davis, take it away.
Thanks, Tiffany. Good afternoon. I'm Cislin Davis, and I will discuss step 2 of our research process, identifying the construction. The customer response team utilizes internal and external resources associated with the infrastructure that Houston Public Works supports and maintains. The information you provide during your 311 interaction is what we use to initiate our research, so every piece of information helps. In the event we need additional information during the research process, we will contact residents with clarifying questions to ensure that we are going in the right direction. If no answer, no worries. We will leave a detailed message that includes direct contact information of the representative who has ownership of the request. If no voicemail, we will generate an email to include our clarifying questions along with contact information. Thank you. Next, we have Taylor Love to discuss the final step. Over to you, Taylor.
Thank you, Cislin. Now let's talk about project team notifications. Our final process is to notify the project team via email for inquiries related to capital projects. We include all pertinent information and provide 5 working days for the project team to get back to us. Please note, as a benefit and the City of Houston's commitment to transparency, residents can track their service requests from start to finish via the 311 helpline. As mentioned earlier in the presentation, we recommend that residents sign up and subscribe on engagehouston.org, where you can follow, share, and comment directly with the project team. Thank you. This concludes the customer response overview. Ulysses, over to you.
Thank you, Taylor. On behalf of the public engagement team, thank you for attending today's presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us via email at billford@houstontx.gov. Thank you. Over to you, Tim.
Thank you, Ulysses. And now it's Q&A time. If you have any questions, please take advantage now and ask away. The public engagement team is here to answer your questions. Please select the raise button and your name will be called. At that time, please unmute your device and ask your question. So I'll repeat, if you have a question or a comment now during the Q&A session, you will do so by selecting the raise button and your name will be called. And at that time, you can please go ahead and unmute your device and ask your question. Okay, and with that, I do see that we have a question. Give me 1 second. I see Miss Stacy Fairchild. Miss Fairchild, please go ahead and unmute your device and ask your question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Absolutely. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you. I was not able to view the presentation. It was only until I ended up seeing the feedback slide, which was at the end of this. So here's my question. Is this recording going to be available for us to share with our community?
Yes, the recording will be made available for the public and for you to share with the community.
Okay.
Yes.
Will that be done on the website? Will it be sent to us by email? How are we going to receive the link?
Okay, let me bring in
Yes.
Kenya for that one. Kenya.
Thank you, Tim. Yes, if you have registered for this webinar, we will be emailing everyone that registered a link to the recording. Now, if you didn't register, you can simply make the request. Okay, well then what you will receive after this meeting today, by tomorrow, you'll receive a link to the recording of the webinar.
Okay, wonderful. And just a comment, I think this is valuable information and it's something I'm not going to be able to relay in the same way that you all have today. So I think it would be very valuable to be able to share, you know, a link to this presentation so that our communities can hear it directly from you. So thank you. Thank you for providing that. And we appreciate what you do.
Thank you for your comments, Stacy. And if there's anything else we can do, hopefully the video it will be helpful. But if you find that people are asking questions, and we'll be happy to present the material again. If you would like, just make the request to myself or on Engage. You can go to Engage and make the request. We want to get this information out to everyone, to the masses. So if there's anything else we can do, if we need a host again, just let us know.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you. And you can go ahead and lower your hand as well. Thank you, Ms. Fairchild. Okay, and we also have a question from E.L. Searles.
Sure. Sure. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Welcome.
Well, this is an inquiry as opposed to anything else. There is a capital project that's occurring at this particular time on Hillcroft Boulevard, starting north at Willow Bend and going south to West Belford. It is a 2-lane both ways, north and south, and it's divided by a very large, probably 30+ feet median. The project has been going on for approximately 3 weeks, and our basic concern on this end is, was there ever a traffic plan put together on the project? Because for over 2 weeks, there were no barriers. There was absolutely nothing there other than probably a horse at the beginning of the project. And they probably eventually came out and put in a direction sign that says, use this particular lane. But for 2 weeks, I mean, they just tore up the place and the cars had to navigate on going on the west side going south along the lane as they were constructing it. I mean, they could have fallen in the ditches and stuff like that that they were creating. In fact, I'm wondering, did they ever do a traffic plan? And if they did, they could have closed off both of those south lanes and used the east lane where they could have had traffic going both north and south and could have done both lanes as opposed to doing one at a time. So I'm very curious about that.
Thank you. Thank you for the comment and for the feedback on that. I can tell you that we do hold safety at the highest priority. And yes, our projects require traffic plans. And in fact, when we host virtual community meetings and we discuss that, we often make mention of those traffic plans. And you can also see traffic plans on the project pages on engagehouston.org. So you would go to that particular project.
I think I will do so.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And we apologize for any inconvenience for that.
Sure. Well, certainly.
And I'll also like to add, if you could actually email us the information, then we'll be more than happy to submit that inquiry over to the appropriate service line that's managing that project.
I will do so, and that's through 911 or
311.
311.
That's correct.
Will do. Thank you.
Definitely don't call 911. Please don't call 911.
Will not do so.
Thank you. Thank you for your question, sir. I believe, Afalaki, am I mistaken? I believe you raised a hand. Did you have a comment or follow up? Okay, I might have.
No, Ulysses
Okay.
chimed in and said it perfectly. So.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you so much. Okay. And with that looks to be the final question for today's webinar. But I would like to thank everyone for, I'm sorry, Ms. Fairchild, you have another question? Go ahead, please unmute your device.
Yes, I do. Thank you. This is about a specific project, Shepherd Durham, south of Washington, between Washington and Dixon. And this is for Kenya. I just wanted to make sure that the email that I sent you a couple of days ago, just asking about how you all, there are some right at Washington and Durham. There is, some new ramps, if you will, and they don't have any paint on them to differentiate the curb from the actual roadway, and it just looks to me, pretty dangerous. So if you're not looking or really focused on right in front of you as you drive past or go south on Washington go south on Durham crossing over Washington, it's likely that you could run right up onto that ramp and, hit the people waiting at the bus stop. So I just want to see if there are going to be any additional safety treatments at that corner, and will we be getting the bus shelter back that was there initially?
Yes, we are looking into that. You said, is it Shepherd Cross Durham or Washington?
It's Washington and Durham. It's the
Washington
southwest corner.
Okay.
The southwest corner.
Okay, let me follow up with that email. And I'll definitely email you back with a response.
Okay, I did send it to Kenya and the Build Forward Houston email. So if I need to do that again, I'm happy to do it.
No, we'll check. We'll check to see if we received it. If not, I have you gave me the streets, so we'll look into that for you.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right. Anything else? This is the time to ask your questions. We got some great questions.
We have a question from Cheryl, from our AD for Project Support Services. Cheryl, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you again. This was a great webinar. My question is for the Super Neighborhood team and other neighborhood leaders. What is the best way that we can reach your residents that you represent? Our general email we have on file with the City of Houston. However, are you all putting that in your newsletter? Is there a time of notification? Is it monthly or weekly? We just want to know how we can better engage with you so that we can better engage with the residents in your area. So I would like to hear a couple of just some ideas or some things that we can do to make sure that we get the word out about these projects and about the platform and where they can go to get information about the projects that are happening in their neighborhood. So I would like to hear from you all, if you can give us some ideas or how we can better engage. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. We actually have oh, go ahead.
First of all, how would you like these ideas sent to you?
You can either Build Houston, our email, or you can put, I mean, is the chat going to be up and running? Kenya, how you want?
Yeah, the chat would be great too, because
okay, great.
You know, so put those suggestions in the chat and we will document that. Or you can also email us at billforward@houstontx.gov.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have another hand raised from Miss Naomi. Please go ahead with your question or comment. Go ahead, Miss Naomi Ostfeld. Okay, I see your hand raised. There may be some technical difficulty there, but we would like to encourage you all to continue to engage with us, yes, on the aforementioned chat, which will continue after today's webinar. And certainly you can continue to engage with us at buildforward@houstontx.gov. And that email address is on the presentation that will be sent out afterwards as well. And we certainly encourage you to go to engagehouston.org. Before I end, though, I do see Ms. Fairchild, you have another question. Please go ahead.
I don't have a question. I have a suggestion based on, you know, your request of us. Having worked with the Super Neighborhood Alliance, I think that is a great, you know, way to make sure that you're disseminating the information to the super neighborhoods. Also, too, if you have any questions about, you know, how to disseminate, you know, specific information to a particular area, I would contact Rhonda Souter with the Department of Neighborhoods, and she has all of the information by super neighborhood and can help you in that regard. We all, you know, in terms of super neighborhood leaders, you know, conduct different, you know, our meetings are on different frequencies. Some of us have websites, others don't. And so when in doubt, I would say contact Rhonda and she can guide you accordingly, you know, based on what information you're trying to get out to the community, but also copy the Super Neighborhood Alliance.
Absolutely. Thank you. And yes, we are familiar. Miss Rhonda Sauter has been of great help to us, definitely previously, on issues and projects such as this one. So we'll continue to work with her as well. Thank you. Okay, so I'll ask going. Any final questions or comments? Okay, so Miss Naomi is having, Miss Ostfeld is having some challenges with her mic. Do we need to, can we unmute that from our end, team? She's asking if we can unmute it on our side.
I've given her access to unmute.
Okay. Okay, so you should be able to go ahead and unmute, ma'am. And if it's, I believe it's star, what is it? If you're on a phone, is what is it? Star 60, is it star 67?
It's star 6 if she's on a phone, but I don't think she's on a phone.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Even if we're not able to get that comment verbally from you today, we are here.
Type it in the chat.
Go ahead.
She said it won't let me unmute.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and type in the chat, ma'am, and we'll move to Cave Charles, who has a question as well. Please go ahead with your question or comment.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I submitted it in the chat, but the question is, how can we submit projects for the CIP?
I can take that question. Well, CIP projects, actually, you can start by locating or communicating with your council member. We do have meetings that we come out and present the CIP, but it just depends on what type of project. We have rehab projects and we have reconstruction projects. So it is an extensive process, and it starts with planning and funding. So it's more than just how I get in. It's just, hey, you would be interested in a project or a review of drainage or roadway projects. There are different types. So I will start with your council member to just say you're wanting something or a potential project to happen in your area, and we can get the ball rolling to get it reviewed through planning and try to resolve the issues that are really creating that CIP project.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. And yes, we are getting a number of comments in the chat as well. And so, Ms. Osfeld, thank you for submitting the question. I'll go ahead and read that question aloud. It says two things. The postcards you send, do you email them? It would be great to receive in emails. Not only would we have the information, but we could include the information in our emails to our Super Neighborhood email list. Thanks. So thank you for that question. That's a great question. So we actually do engage in through both channels. So we extract the physical mailing address using our ArcGIS platform. So you get the postcards in the mail, physical mail, and we also do the search online, and we acquire your email address, and we send the community meeting notices and project notices to your email addresses as well. We also CC the Super Neighborhood general inbox at SNACOH, so short for Super Neighborhood Association COH @gmail.com. So we CC that general inbox, and we also send the information to the listed email address that you have online. We get that from the City of Houston. The City of Houston has the contact information for all of your email addresses, and if that information is updated, then yes, we do have access to it.
In addition to that, thank you, Tim. In addition to that, there's also social media shares on engagehouston.org. So if there's a project that is in your area, you can go directly to the project page and email that to anyone, or post on Facebook by clicking the social media share icon at the very top. Or you can, if there's a meeting, if you get a postcard and it's a meeting notification, it's also posted to engagehouston.org. So you can go directly to that meeting, post it there, and share that as well on social media. Is that, I think that's all the questions. We will also, there's many more that we are responding to right now via chat. So we will be responding to those individual questions as well.
Okay, all right. And that does look to be the final question for today's Q&A session. Again, thank you all for taking time out. We certainly do appreciate that and allowing us to engage with you for the sake of improving and making our city even better than it already is. So with that, thank you. We'll continue to the engagement, and you all have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week.